Hello, I'm going to be walking you through the book generator HDA I've been working on for the past couple days. And when you first open it up, you're going to be greeted by the Create Books tab and the Place Book tabs. We're always going to start in the Create Books tab. You can go ahead and type in a number of books that we want. You can see you can just keep going. You can change the spacing between them just for visualization purposes. For now, let's just create 5 books, let's say. And for each one of these books, you get a tab created. And here we can go ahead and assign material. All I've done for a material is I have some principled shaders, and on them I have an image texture of an unfolded book cover, like such. So I'll come in here, and I'm just going to go ahead and start applying those covers and the page material as well. So you'll notice that this is on a per book or per object basis. So we have, and then we also have all these other parameters down below that I'll get to in a moment. Okay, so we've gone ahead and assigned all of our materials, and you can see we have books with different colors. Now if we want to start to create some differences in these books just besides materials, we can go ahead and scale them like such, and you can also go ahead and change the divisions of the seat of pages. So you'll notice we have these, the pages are sticking out a bit like you would see in a real book, some irregularity, and we can go ahead and change the seat that those stick out, and we can also increase the divisions. So we're increasing, giving ourselves more pages. The threshold is just how many pages will stick out. So you notice that increases to 1, and now all of our pages are being extruded slightly. We can change the extrusion distance, but you see we don't really want to do that by too much. Maybe just a little bit more would be good. We can also change the cover thickness, but then again, the default is good as is, and then the bevel distance is just right here on the corner, and the visions, and we can also start to subdivide the book cover if we just want some smoother mesh. So now that we've gone and done that, I'm just going to change the size of these a little on some of these just to give us some more interesting features. That should be good. And now we're going to enable the placement of books. And what I've done for this is I have a shelf, so you can take any geometry that you have, and in here I'm extracting the back curves for the rows and the base geometry that I want to place book stacks on. So if I come inside here, you'll see that this is the geometry I want to place stacks of books on, and this is the curves that I want the books to be on. And that curve is this backbone curve right here. So if I come in here and I want to do that again, just enter it, and you can see I select curves right there and like here, and all I've done is pipe that into a labs edge root to curve node to get curves out of it. So I'm going to come in here, place books, and enable, and I've got it turned on to stacks. Go show my geometry. Now you can see where we've got our base plates here. We now have books there on top of our shelves. Now there's 2 modes. There's a uniform mode, and when we have the uniform mode turned on, all the books are stacked in the same order. So you'll notice the top cover for all of these is the same. We can get away with making this more randomized by changing the rotation of our stacks individually, changing the scale of them. We can change the seed of this order. We can randomize the stack scale. We can jitter them, move them off their original point, and we can randomize the books on an individual basis. But most of the time, you're going to want to be using the random mode, which creates a random stack order for every stack iteration. And then we can randomize the order of the books like we did before, change the global scale, and change the random rotation of the books. And then for the individual scaling, we can also scale down the books individually if you didn't want to do that. On the upper level in the Create Books tab, let's say you weren't happy with your scales there and you just wanted to create a lot of different, more variety, you can go ahead and set that here. Now we can look at the rows option. So this takes a little bit longer to cook, but once we have that, we see right on here we've got our rows, and we can go ahead and change the scale. You can flip the books so that the pages face out, although I'm not sure why, but it's more of a debug feature. So we can go ahead, most of the time our spines will be facing back, and you can see we've got them All the spines are pushed as far against the wall as they can go. And we can go ahead and change the order of the books. This one takes a little bit longer to click on stacks, but it's still relatively fast. If we didn't subdivide the book covers, it would make it quicker. And then we can go ahead and tilt them. So if I set this on crazy to like 90 degrees, it's going to tilt through the wall. And then, but just to see, you can see we're changing the tilt order for all of these. But usually your max tilt or rotation will be only about 15 degrees, just to give a little more variety. And then we can, our last option is just to do both. And you've got all the same options, but it just allows you to do both at the same time. So that's all for this demonstration.